1, 2, 3. What is that?
As much as Kenny was great, and I'd love to have played under Jurgen. But for me, the man who started it all was Bill Shankly.
It's like Sloth from the Goonies.
You know, David Beckham wore a sarong, didn't he?
Barnes was just like, he's just elegant, wasn't he? You get your superstars. That's how I kind of looked at Barnes. He was like a superstar. I'll give you 20 quid.
Hey, you're watching AXA Player Portraits, the show where we take your favourite Liverpool FC players, staff and legends and challenge them to try something new with confidence. With the Liverpool Legends game approaching, we thought we'd make this episode a bit of a celebration of that. If you want more information on the great work that the LFC Foundation does, then click the link in the description underneath. I am joined today by two Liverpool legends. There's Jason McAteer. There's John Barnes.
Dr. John Barnes.
Dr. John Barnes.
Well, if you're going that way, I'm an MSc on the end of my name. I've got letters.
It's MCS.
Is it?
No.
MSc.
I feel like this one might be a bit of an unruly episode. We'll have to see how it goes. Right. We have done a number of these episodes before. It's the first time that these two guys have appeared in the flesh, but it is technically not the first time that John Barnes has appeared. Now, this is a little bit of behind the scenes. We filmed a pilot episode for this a couple of years ago, and John was one of the players that got painted. Should we have a little look?
Why have I got such a scared look on my face?
I know. Why? Yeah,
Hang on a second. Why have I got my feet on my hands? That looked like a foot. That's not.
Let's
Listen. I better not say anything, because that's better than I can do.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it's you.
Yeah.
From the shirt. Candy.
From the candy shirt.
It was me that painted that one.
Was it you?
Yeah.
I can tell.
No
You're very
way.
artistic.
So,
why are his eyes like?
Whoa! Look, we don't need to look in too much depth and detail. Like
It's abstract. You know about abstract painting?
What, like a Picasso?
When the eyes are all funny and you're out of shape and you don't look anything like you're supposed to. That's what he
like
is.
for eyes
He's a
and
genius.
Perfect.
You're a
take that.
genius.
Right, I've got the gents here. It is pretty straightforward if you haven't seen the show already. I will explain it to you. The guys have got half an hour. They're going to reveal the picture they're going to be painting, and at the end they have to guess who the other has painted. Time does get away from you quickly though, gents. So a couple of minutes with the pencils, then onto the paints, and we'll crack on and have a bit of a chat while we're doing it as well. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh my God.
Feeling it?
Can you start?
Yeah. Do you want to get cracking? So, you're both ambassadors of the foundation. We've got the Legends game coming up. How much pride do you have still being able to be involved and, you know, in those games, John?
Well, the pride isn't just about the game, is it? I mean, when you're involved in the foundation, it's about the work it does throughout the year. Football should be part of a community, and that's why the foundation does great work. Liverpool do great work in the foundation, more so than other clubs, because they still recognise that they do have to have a responsibility to the fans, and not just the millionaire fans who come from abroad who come to the games in the boxes, the local fans as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's really interesting. Let's go back to the 90s. The cream suits. Now, I'm sure it's one of the things you get asked about. Do the cream suits get a bad rap? Were they better? Maybe
only because we lost.
Yeah.
I mean, if we won, we wouldn't have, because if you win, then, no matter what you do, David Beckham wore a sarong, didn't he? And he's a good player and he's a icon. So, but if he wasn't a good player wearing a sarong, he'd get stick, wouldn't he? And I think Jason can tell the story about why we actually wore those suits.
So the 90s, there's a bit of a story, right? The 90s is the best decade of change in football. It was amazing. It went from a drinking culture, early 90s, into money coming into the game because of broadcasting deals, commercial deals. People, the clubs got onto it.
Sky, 92 is when it changed.
Yeah, it was like, so there was a lot of change in the 90s. Companies were getting onto like having us on the front of magazines. When you were losing games, it did bring its more criticism than normal. I mean, you look at the way Ebu's walked in and no one's really batted an eyelid. He's not made any headlines.
Run him around with us.
To the FA Cup Final and the world goes into meltdown.
Yeah.
But the story goes, David James was modelling for Armani. That's where I was going for it.
Yeah.
And then he was asked last minute by Armani, do you want to wear my suit to the FA Cup Final? Because obviously they got onto the fact there was loads of visibility and exposure, and they were clever enough to go get them in a suit. And like Barney said, had we won, it might have been treated a little bit differently, but We didn't. We got beat.
I agree with that in the 90s, and it's a fascinating time for football because you're right. It's one of the most exciting times. It's the one where you can see where football's going with it. You guys are involved in arguably the best game of that era, one of the best games of all time. In fact, two of them really, 2-4-3s with Newcastle. I have to ask, John, do you have a favourite of the two?
It's not even a question, the first one. Not even a question. There weren't two great games. The first one was a great game. 1-0, 1-0, 2-1, 2-0, 3. We were 3-0 up in the second game, cruising. They came back to 3-0, we scored a winner. So the scores ended up the same, but in terms of the quality of the game, it was no quality. The first game was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, an absolute classic of all time of Premier League history. Is that the game you get asked about most, Jace? Have you entire
No,
career?
the white suits is the one everybody wants to talk about. You still got your white suit, by the way?
Well, it was cream to start off with, no, I haven't.
I ended up giving mine to Helen. I'd done Soccer AM, and Helen Chamberlain asked me for the suit because she was getting married to the darts player James Wade, and she wanted him to get married, didn't he? Well,
he was going to get married, didn't it?
Yeah, and then they ended up splitting up. So it brought her as much luck as it brought me.
Did you ask for it back?
Yeah. No, I'll tell you what's happened, right? One of the players, I won't say who it is, who's got a white suit, about 6 months ago, he's got a phone call of a collector, and they offered him 20, I think it was 22 grand to buy the suit. So I've rang Helen Chamberlain and asked for the suit back. She's not got back to me.
So we're at the halfway point. I'm going to have a little look and see how the lads are getting on. John, how you feeling?
Surprisingly, I'm feeling good because I can tell you it is very, very bad. However, it's better than I expected.
Good. Well, that's the positivity of art. I love it.
Yeah.
Very good indeed. Okay, Jace.
Well, you're the actual proof in. Like, would you know who this is?
100%.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I think that's really good. no, genuinely, really good. Well done, lads. What do you think that the younger generation of players do really well that you wish you'd done in your time?
Handle criticism.
Oh, wow.
They don't get the same criticism though, do they? I think they're very well protected. I think what they do well is they live a much more professional life than we did. In terms of, but of course it is the way that they have been conditioned, it's the environment that they've come into. So there's no stopping off at KFC and McDonald's and drive-thrus and drinking and all stuff like that. So I suppose that's the biggest difference for me than football between now and then when we played, because of course when you say they're much more professional, I think it's just the fact that they look after their bodies much more than, but back then everybody was doing it. And I suppose if you go back to the 70s, it was worse than in the 90s.
Yeah.
And of course now it's completely fantastic in terms of what they do. So I suppose for me that is the biggest difference.
Is that that's the hardest thing, I guess, when people love to try and compare eras, but you can't because of that infrastructure's just so much different.
Well, not only that, because you can go back from my time and then say, well, what about when Stanley Matthews played in the 60s? Or when somebody played in the 20s? They could never play now. But if you transport any of these players, any one of these players, back to the 70s, they'll be doing what we did. And if you transport any of us to now, we'll be doing what they did.
Yeah.
So any great player of any great era would be exactly the same in any era. Messi, Ronaldo, Mo Salah, they'll be exactly the same as George Best was, And George Best and people like that playing now would be equally as good as the best players now.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's really interesting. I guess it sort of follows on from that then. If you could trade Liverpool careers with any other Liverpool player, or maybe a current Liverpool player, so you get to be, do you want to be Mo Salah?
You know what I do? I don't look at a career, I look at a time.
Okay.
A time. And of course, that I would love to have played under Bill Shankly. So if you talk about someone now, I would have to look at Ian Callaghan, who's my favourite Liverpool player of all time, Ian Callaghan. I mean, Ian Callaghan's stories are incredible. For a player who he was in the World Cup squad, played for England in the World Cup squad, never played in the World Cup, but he's got a World Cup winners medal, most appearances for Liverpool, and he's from the Dingle. He made his debut for Liverpool. When he made his debut for Liverpool, he had to queue up in the bus on Park Road to come up, get off by Goodison County Road. There's about 100 people in the queue. They had to push him to the front because he's making his debut, or he would not have made it. And then after the game, walked back to County Road by Everton's ground, queued up on the bus, got on the bus and went home. Ian Callaghan for me is Liverpool's all-time great. And of course he played with Bill Shankly. So, as much as Kenny was great, and I'd love to have played under Jurgen. But for me, the one who started it all was Bill Shankly. So, yeah, that's the one for me.
Yeah, Jurgen, I wanted to play under.
Do you feel like that level of energy that you had would have suited what he was looking for as well?
Yeah, he's my kind of manager. I played under a load of different types of managers. Leadership comes in all different roles, doesn't it? And there's plenty of managers I played under that I hated, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. And I learned, from what I want to do now and progress in my career. You probably learn a lot of things from them, how not to do things. Mm-hmm. So you've got to take the lessons, haven't you? And I just would have loved going in and being a part of what he wanted, and I just love his desire and his passion and his loyalty to his players. I just think I would have been able to really play for them.
Jason, have you got a favourite John Barnes moment? I mean, it can be off the pitch if you want, but I'm thinking...
No, not keep it on the pitch, please. Keep it on the pitch.
No, like I said, right, so I grew up a Liverpool fan. I used to watch all the videos, the DVDs and the videos and
John
all that
Barnes
kind
story.
Of stuff. Yeah, and just like Barnes, he was just elegant, wasn't he? And just like, he used to glide, and he was just like, like you get your superstars, like your Messi's. That's how I kind of looked at Barnes. He was like a superstar. I'll give you 20 quid. Yeah.
No, 5 this time.
Right, before we wrap up, John, because you seem quite content with where you're at, what one piece of advice would you give to a young person looking to succeed in life?
In life?
In life. Well, the way to succeed in life is no different to the way to succeed in football. Hard work, effort, commitment, and humility. Because I remember when I was young growing up, and of course, the way my dad was a colonel in the army, he was a diplomat, and he said, no matter how good you think you are as a footballer, you have to work hard. So I used to go running. And of course, when you're growing up, you say the same things to your kids about studying. So I say to them, when you pass an exam, for example, and football's the same, you don't pass your exam on the day you take it. It's on the preparation leading up to it. The studying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in school. Then when the exam comes and you know the answers, it's because you have studied it, the repetition. Football's exactly the same. When you look at Messi and Ronaldo and you see how good they are, what you don't see is the work they do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So of course, it's great if you have talent. Because talent is important, but hard work and effort always trumps talent.
Absolutely. What about you, Jason? Any advice?
I decided to do a master's. I know we laugh about being non-academic and stuff, but I was invited to do it, and I was out of my comfort zone. I just did it. And I think that's another thing. Get out your comfort zone. Go and try something. If it doesn't work, then move on and find something that you really love doing and having a passion for. But so challenge yourself. So I did, and I've done this master's, and I just passed it. I got a distinction, and I loved it, and I started getting a real appetite for learning. But I become a bit of a why kid. And another reason I love hanging around with Barnesy is because he's really educated. But you can ask him why. Like, you'll have a conversation and you'll ask him why, and he just knows. He's really educated, and I love that.
Why?
Why am I getting educated?
It's a joke. Come on.
Sensational stuff. Right, gents, I'm going to have to ask you to put down your paintbrushes.
I haven't used that yet. Let me just have it.
Right, you done?
No.
Come on, mate.
No, I went too red.
Pens down. In the exam. When you're doing your masters and they say stop, you've got to stop. You messed it up.
I've now sunburned them.
So we'll do one at a time.
What?
Stop.
Eyes are a bit hard to do, aren't they?
Yeah, you were very critical of someone's attempt to paint eyes earlier on. Just saying.
All right, sorry.
That's
That's blue.
Put it down.
He's got blue eyes.
I keep forgetting there's loads of people in the room. You could have asked me anything there. I think I would have told you anything.
Absolutely outstanding. Right.
He's got one cat.
Told you the eyes are hard. Hard with the eyes.
Looks like Sloth from the Goonies.
Right. Are we ready? We're going to do the reveal. We'll do John's first. 1, 2.
Am I guessing?
Wait, yeah, just.
Oh, you got to see it first, though.
My word. Right. After 3.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
What is that?
It's not a question of what is it. If you know it, it's a good picture. If you know who it is, it's a good picture.
What have you written on his forehead?
I haven't written anything. That's just he was just.
Was that brush strokes?
No, he went to the sunbed and he had false tan on and it rained. So it kind of
okay.
It was just the false tan.
This is a guess.
Think about the players.
The hair's good. I
So
think the hair
obviously
and the head
it's not
shape.
Stan Collymore, isn't it? And it's not Michael Thomas.
No, or JMO. Redknapp. No, McManaman. No, it's not me. You would have had longer there.
Lives in North Wales.
Oh, I can see it now.
All right, yeah.
Michael Owen.
Of course it's Michael Owen.
What do you mean, course?
Who else could it be? It could be Redknapp, I suppose.
It could have been Redknapp.
Apart from Jamie and Michael Owen, it couldn't have been. Who else did you say? Steve McManaman.
Yeah,
No,
that was a sheer guess. Why have you not?
It wasn't a guess,
Why have
I
you not
told you.
painted his lips red and filled his eyes in?
But I've given him some teeth because he went to Turkey. You can see, but it never came out because look at this. I couldn't get the white.
Why has he got a big square head?
He has a square. Look.
It does have
Oh
quite a
yeah,
square
it's
head.
not that bad actually. It's not that
Good.
bad.
Look at that, please.
Yeah.
There you go. So I just took it from that picture.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we got there.
In the end, with a bit of help.
Now, Jason, for your big reveal in 3, 1, 2, 3.
He's gonna hate you, isn't he?
Well, it's not the most flattering picture of him, but I think you know who it is.
Robbie.
There you go.
Robbie Fowler.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna be happy with that.
Well, I give him one. He's got one ear bigger than the other.
He's got one eye lower than the other. Show me again. Let's have a look at that.
No,
So why is one eye down there and one eye like that?
Because I forgot to do my lines. It's all coming back to me now. I should have done my lines.
In fact, to be honest with you, if you look at his eyes and his jaw, it could have been Peter
But
Beardsley.
the thing is, he has
So it's
got
Peter
one ear
Beardsley.
bigger than the other.
You sure it's not Peter Beardsley?
I wanted to highlight that in my picture. It doesn't it does highlight it in that picture, yeah.
You got put it this way: you got the colouring right, you got the hairstyle and everything right, but it's a very unflattering. I think mine is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I had half an hour.
I'm thoroughly impressed by what he's been able to produce. This has been a massively uplifting.
Well, you must know how bad I am at art. If I'm happy with that,
I mean, you're a man of many talents.
art's not
I
all
think
that.
that's the worst thing I've ever seen you do.
I mean, it's symmetrical. It's like,
Symmetrical.
yeah.
He looks like Eddie Munster.
No.
Right, stop it before you end friendships forever. Listen, let me know your thoughts on both of the efforts from our gents here today in the comments section underneath.
If you cannot tell them apart.
You got your colours right.
You can't tell them apart.
Which one's the photo and which one's a painting?
There you go.
It's impossible to decide. Yeah, which one do you think came out on top? Who captured the likeness the best of the two boys? And yeah, if you've got any suggestions for who you would like to see on future episodes of Player Portraits, let us know that in the comments section underneath. Drop a like on this video and subscribe to the AXA UK YouTube channel as well. And don't forget to find out more about the LFC Foundation by clicking the link in the description.